things are going there? West Indies, you play everywhere in the world, travel a lot for different T20 leagues all over the world. But how is it different playing in the Caribbean island?
Yeah, obviously this is my second year with TKR, and last year we were in Trinidad, and now we're here at St Kitts. So, I mean, no matter where you go in the world, all the conditions are they're different. So, obviously the whole tournament's in one ground here, so the wickets are challenging. But as a player, you know, that's exciting because you have to adapt your game to those conditions and try whatever situation you're in for the team. You got to try and do your best. So it's awesome playing in Caribbean. The people are awesome, and we're staying in a nice hotel on the beach as well. So the bubble life isn't too bad.
Last year it was a little disappointing for you since you missed the IPL at the last moment because of the COVID, got detected with COVID. So was it a little disappointing last year when you missed the IPL at the very last moment?
Yeah, I was actually at all of the IPL, and then it was only until we were about to fly out that I got that positive result. So I missed the flight home, but I did all the IPL, and looking forward to going back to Dubai and joining up with KKR after hopefully winning the CPL, but time will tell. But no, very excited to join back up with KKR, and hopefully we can get a couple wins ourselves and get up that leaderboard and push for the semi-finals.
So in Dubai, the situation is pretty different from back home in the conditions you play in New Zealand, where the wickets are completely different, the conditions are different. What would be the most challenging thing when you will be in Dubai playing perhaps the IPL and the T20 World Cup?
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, every time you go to a different country, that, as I said before, the conditions are different. But lucky enough, I've been to Dubai a few times now. First of all, when I was in New Zealand under-19s, and then we've also had a couple Black Caps tours to Dubai when we played Pakistan. So I've played there a couple of times now, and obviously had the IPL before this one in Dubai as well. So I've had a lot of experience in Dubai. But it's just managing, what shots are harder to play than others, and talking to some players that have played many games in Dubai. So it's just about not going in your shell, but just figuring out what shots are harder to play than others, and just adapt to the conditions.
Since 2014, when you played the Under-19 World Cup, you have come a long way since the last 7 years. And there are a lot of people who speak about, compare yourself with the legend Brendan McCullum. Like, your average is pretty good in T20 cricket. The way you play, it's a very attacking form of cricket. Since you play for a win always, you play T20 cricket.
Yeah, it's definitely been inspired for sure. Obviously, I still try and play the game how I play the game, and not try and be like him. But I definitely have, watched him as a kid since I could start walking, basically. Started off with Fleming and all those kind of guys, and then watching Baz has definitely, made me love the game of cricket, and definitely wanted me to kind of play the way he did, as in putting pressure on the bowlers and making sure that they aren't settled in a good area. And it's been awesome to be able to work with him as well over the last couple of years in KKR and TKR, but also do a lot of work with him back home as a coach, and reached out to him for a few tips here and there, which has been great. But no, he's been awesome, and he's hopefully, the years to come, I keep improving, and still play a lot of games for New Zealand and the franchise tournaments for KKR and TKR.
Tim, another wicketkeeper, the legend MS Dhoni, is making headlines since the evening and trending on the social media. The responsibilities to mentor the Indian cricket team.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? A guy like him, obviously he's still playing cricket at IPL, but for those young guys in the World Cup team to have a guy like him in the change room to just ask questions, and that's what I've really enjoyed about being able to play these franchise tournaments, and even the Black Caps is, just being in the dressing room with those world-class players, and MS Dhoni is definitely a legend of the game. So, those young guys like Ishan Kishan, new young wicketkeeper, to be in the same change room as him and to be able to do trainings and just have those conversations is going to be huge. And I think it's great for India with a guy like that experience has come on board to help them out.
Tim, what kind of changes have you seen in the last 15, 20 years in international cricket? Because 20 years back, it wasn't the case like every batsman and every wicketkeeper in the world were good batsmen. I mean, they were specialist wicketkeepers. Some of them could bat well. But nowadays, if you see the international cricket, most of the wicketkeepers, they're very capable batsmen.
Yeah, I think it's obviously the T20 game as well. Those guys are extremely attacking batsmen, and I think it all started kind of that area of Gilly and obviously Brendan as well, and MS Dhoni. That they've definitely changed the game from a wicketkeeper batter's point of view. And I think as a player, to have two sides as a player as well, so you kind of put yourself in that all-rounders role, to be able to give two things to the team. And you said it before, it gives that opportunity for, if they aren't wicket-keeping, to make the side as a batter as well. So I think it just broadens the skills as a player, but I think also it makes the balance of the side a lot easier if that wicketkeeper can bat up in the middle to high end of the team as well, because then guys can play extra spinner or another all-rounder or another bowler, so it definitely lengthens your team out as well. But yeah, I think that definitely the game has changed with the wicketkeepers being able to bat how they do.
If Tim Seifert has to name three best wicketkeeper batsmen at the moment in the world of cricket, apart from himself, who are the best three?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put myself up there. Hopefully one day.
Obviously you are one of them.
But no, I think Quinton de Kock, he's awesome in all three formats as well. Josh Butler for England, and also Rashid Pant as well. Sorry, those three guys, I love the way that they bat, and they put pressure on the batsmen, so the bowlers, but also they're very good with their gloves as well. So those are guys I love watching, and hopefully one day can be as good as them.
Do you see some fireworks where India playing New Zealand in the T20 World Cup? Because both the teams have batsmen who can hit the ball a long way.
Yeah, 100%. I think that whole World Cup is going to be full of sixes. That they're good pitches. And yeah, Dubai and Abu Dhabi are big grounds, but then Sharjah is quite a small ground. So it'll be a great World Cup. And, India and New Zealand have had some good battles in the last year or so as well. So India's got the upper hand of us a couple of the times, but hopefully, in the World Cup when it counts, we can see what happens. But no, it's been great fun playing India. And, I look forward to the games ahead.
All the big bosses of T20 cricket are playing here in CPL. I mean, they play everywhere in the world, and they're quite used to this format, the Caribbean traders. Do you see them as one of the favorites in the T20 World Cup, the Caribbean side?
Yeah, absolutely. The West Indies, geez, you look at their team, the power that they have, in the top of the order, but also the middle order with Russell, Pollard, Pooran, Hetmeyer, all those kind of guys. You get them on a bad day, it's game over. But no, they're a great team, and the talent that we see in the CPL is awesome as well. So they haven't named their squad yet, but it'll be very exciting to see what players they do name in their squad.
Before one last question, I would just like to ask you one question. That is, the pitches in New Zealand are not that tailor-made for the spinners. But despite that, how come the Kiwis spinners over the years are doing so well in international cricket?
Yeah, I think it always depends on what kind of ground you do play in New Zealand. Obviously, some spin a little bit, but some don't at all. But I think it just shows the great talent that New Zealand are producing in their spinners at the moment, and I kind of even Dan Vittori, guys like him, it hasn't just started over the last few years. It's definitely been the great spinners before, the likes of Ish Sodhi, Mitchell Satner, with those guys in the white ball. But no, they'll be great in Dubai, and they're definitely getting better and better every year as well.
Who is the most difficult bowler to pick behind the wicket?
Probably at the moment, Narayan. Obviously kept to him last year, and then played a game keeping yesterday as well. So you just got to work with them if you haven't seen them before in trainings and stuff like that. So my first few trainings last year, geez, it was good fun. But now I've slowly started to pick them when I'm keeping, and haven't faced them in a game batting yet. So we'll see what happens if I ever do that. But wicket keeping, he's definitely great fun to be behind the sticks with.
ABP न्यूज आपको रखे आगे।